Okay, so we're back looking at the Enterprise Incident Kit, and these are the little micro drills, which best guess are about 0.4 millimeters. The idea is, I'm not sure how well you can see the instructions here, but there are holes that need to be drilled, which it looks like you do after the parts are glued together, and then you just poke in 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters of fibre optic into the holes. The bulb itself goes obviously in the middle there, and it is one of the little incandescent bulbs, the little grain of wheat type. Yeah, I'm not going to use them. I'm going to swap those out for some LEDs, a bit more reliable, and should get some more light out of them. And then we'll have a go at doing that. So the first part is going to be putting these two pieces together with a bulb inside them, and obviously deciding what we're going to do about the torpedo launcher. Rewatched the episode the other day, and they don't actually seem to fire any shots. Well, not on the hit anyway. So we'll have a look at what we can do with that. Might light that up red or something, but we'll see. Okay, so here we go. What I've got set up here is I've got a 1.8 millimeter white LED. I'm just going to solder the connector on the negative terminal. So here we go. Just a little bit of solder. There we go. Okay, so jump ahead a little bit, and this is what we have. We've got a 1.8 millimeter LED there with wires soldered to it, and of course some heat shrink to stop it shorting out, because we don't want it to stop working, obviously. I went with the 1.8mm because, well, two reasons. Number one, I don't have a lot of experience with the SMDs and how much light they send out in all directions, whereas this should light up pretty much evenly. Once it's inside there, the light should spread out quite nicely. And the second reason, I don't have any SMDs, so there we go. We're working with what we've got. When you compare these to the bulbs that did come with the kit, the grain of wheat incandescent things, they are actually quite a bit smaller, so shouldn't really pose any problems. The wire I'm using is some wrapping wire, 30 gauge. So there we go. Next bit, let's see what we do with the torpedo launcher. Okay, so we've got a bit more progress. This part, this is obviously the second cruiser. This part here is the torpedo launcher that fits into the nose in this little cutout here. So on the one I'm working on at the moment, by the way, I have fitted that, and what I've done is I have filed off the back, as you can see there, and I filled the essentially tube that's now left with super glue, which sets quite nice and clear, obviously, and then I've painted the back of it with some of the Tamiya clear orange paint. Did think about going with red, but I thought orange would be a better glow. So that's where we're up to with that. We now have obviously our little 1.8mm LED to fit in there, which should fit quite nicely, he says. And then the second piece will just clip on. Of course, one thing that I did find, well, two things I found that are quite annoying with this kit. Obviously I haven't really started with the parts fit yet, but there was no little securing lugs for this piece, so it was just literally a case of holding it in place with the tweezers while the glue held it enough to let go. Considering it's a kit that is designed and comes with everything you need to light it, they didn't think to leave a little hole in the back for the wires to come through. So I've had to get my file and just create a little channel in each side, which you can see there has come out with a little hole in the back, so the wires have got somewhere to come through. This little theme of the securing lugs seems to crop up quite often with this kit, particularly with the main body, because there are no securing lugs on the top and bottom, so it could go absolutely anywhere. And yeah, I'm starting to see why people complain about the quality and the fit of this kit, but we'll persevere and see where we get to, and hopefully we'll have a good passable result. Okay, so starting to have a look at the fibre optics now, and I've finally unrolled it. It sounds very brittle. I mean, I am aware, obviously, this kit was released in 1996, which makes it 24 years old. So, I don't know, does fibre optic go brittle? I guess there's only one way to find out. So I started looking at the warp engines, and it calls for, in the instructions, 2 holes to be drilled. And the 2 holes are one above the little notch there and one below. You can see I've marked out that one. Well, on this one I've actually drilled the holes now, and the top one seems to be slightly bigger than the bottom, which is weird, but there you go. So the fibre optics will come through these little entry holes here, and then feed up there, and from there go into the main body. Now again, having really thought the kit through, considering it's designed for lighting, you have to cut out this part here to allow the wires to go through. That's in the instructions. So why they didn't just leave a channel there in the mould, I don't know. It's not exactly a scale you see around a lot of this, so I'm assuming it was just for this kit. Other thing which is a bit weird, looking ahead, is the decals, because they're all for the Klingon version of this ship, and in the episode it was all Romulans, so odd. So yeah, we'll try cutting some pieces of fibre optic cable and see where we get to. There's the 2 fibre optic filaments there. They come round and they're held in place with super glue, and then they go up the arm, as it were, of the nacelle. Now, trying to demonstrate these, just try using this one. There we go. See those 2 lighting up. So, looking at other videos I've seen, people using fibre optics, you can see that I've left them sticking out quite far, and the reason for that is once the model is painted you can cut it down and you'll get the inner part of the fibre optic cable, and it'll work just as well, and you don't have to then start scratching paint off. So we'll see how well that goes once we start painting it. There is going to be some light blocking that needs to be done, so we'll see how it all works out. I think that's pretty much as far as we can go tonight. As I said, we've got some spray painting to do for the light blocking, so we'll call it a night there, I think, for this kit.